Hi, guys. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about this.
About 1 in 3 Americans between 18 and 34 years old live with their parents.
And while you may have heard more about this recently, this trend isn't new.
Between 2005 and 2015, the share just grew very steeply over this 10-year period. Since then, it's been fairly stable. There was an uptick, of course, during the pandemic. In the wake of the pandemic, those rates of parental co-residence are now about where they were right before.
So, I want to talk about why, according to Google, 1 in 3 adults age 18 to 34 live with their parents. That's an interesting statistic. First, though, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I really am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and it would really help the channel. I'm trying to build a community here. If you're liking this content, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will show it to other people who might be interested in it. But let's get started talking about this. So, I'm not sure how this statistic works. Does it count kids living off their parents? Does it count roommate situations? Does it count parents who need their kids to live with them to help take care of them? I can see myself in a few years needing somebody around. Maybe not necessarily living here, but yeah, I could see myself. I can see that happening. But does it count situations like my ex-husband and my son? They're roommates. My son actually, I think, might make a little more than my ex-husband, but I don't know what their financial situation is, but I know that they split the bills. They live in an apartment. My son's not really living with his father. They live together. I mean, what would they prefer? For them to each go out? They cannot afford the rent and the bills on their own. So should my son go out and find a roommate? My ex-husband, should he go out and find a roommate and live separately? They've lived together their whole lives. They know each other. So why shouldn't they roommate together? I know a lady who's in her 60s, early 60s. Her son, I think he's in his 30s. Again, a roommate situation. And I know all this is anecdotal, but I know of people in my real life. My stepson lives in the basement of his mom's place. My friend is in her 40s. Her daughter in her 20s lives with her. So this is what they say the problem with it is.
We do also have a situation that what is really good for an individual person or an individual family is not necessarily good for the entire macroeconomy.
The Federal Reserve estimates in a 2019 paper that young adults who move out of their parents' house would spend around $13,000 more per year on things such as housing, food, and transportation.
One of the big boosts to consumer spending is when people form households. Whether you're a renter or a buyer, you need to furnish that house. You need to fix things up in the home to make it livable. You end up spending a lot of money during that time. So if the pace of household formation slows down, then that's going to slow down the pace of consumer spending, and that will produce a drag on the economy.
Now, I don't really see this as a problem. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? I really want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below if your kids live with you or if they live on their own, what your situation is. How do you feel about your kids living with you? Or in general, how do you feel about it? I really want this to be a discussion. If enough people answer me in the comments, if I get enough comments to justify it, I will do another video where I break down what you have to say. So what you say, your input is important to me. It really, really is. But, oh, real quick, I do want to mention Blue Sky. I quit using Twitter years ago, and I quit using Facebook earlier this year because of the politics so I wanted to tell you about this social media that is, I saw a video on it this morning. It's up and coming. I saw it in the news. It's called Blue Sky. I started using it. I will include my Blue Sky feed right here. I'm really hoping this is my new social media home because I'm not happy with the other ones. But anyway, I digress. So in the old days, the good old days, there were multi-generational homes. Other cultures still live that way. Kids don't leave home. They just don't. They have multi-generations in one household, you know, and I think the U.S. used to be that way. Think back to the Waltons. Grandparents, parents, kids, or grandkids, all living, adult grandkids, all living in the same home. Who's the head of the household? Well, does it really need a head of household, really? I mean, who's the head of this household? My husband would tell you him. I would tell you me. There you go. You know? But, yeah, so what is wrong with living that way? What is wrong with multiple people using the same space? You know? I would love, I have a garage in the back. I would love to convert into an apartment for my son. Of course, he lives with his father now, but I can't do that because of the zoning. They can't live on my property. They can live in my house, but they can't live on my property in a separate space. It's crazy. I really, really think that the answer. I mean, have you seen Rent? So before I married my current husband and moved in with him, I lived for about 1.5 years in my own apartment, and rents are crazy. I don't know how one family unit, whether it's a single person or a couple or a family, can afford rent or a mortgage. I mean, yes, if you bought your house in the 80s and bought your house for $200,000 and you're paying 4% interest or 3% interest, you've been paying it for 20-something years. Yeah, you can afford to live on your own. Have you seen house prices today? I bought this house and I did not pay a lot for it, but it's very small, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. As I grow older, I wanted a smaller house, less to take care of. But how are young people supposed to afford to buy a house or pay rent on an apartment? And how is anybody? I mean, my ex-husband needs my kid as much as my kid needs him, you know? So I don't know. I don't know why this is a problem. I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe I just don't understand macroeconomics. I don't understand why it's a problem with kids living with parents and vice versa. But I could be swayed. So, again, leave your comment in the comments below and tell me your opinion, because your opinion does matter. It matters here at Totally Gen X. It definitely matters. And I read the comments, and so I will do another video if I get enough comments. I think I said that already. But other than that, that's all I really have for you today. I just want to talk about this. I really do. I want the discussion to continue. But I'm out of here for now. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.